If your only income comes from a salary, then your financial life depends on one thing: your job. Lose the job, and the income disappears. And that's the situation millions of people quietly live in. They earn good money, they get promotions, their salary grows. Yet, despite all that progress, they never actually become free. In this video, I want to show you something most people never realize about salary income, why even high earners often stay financially trapped, and what actually needs to change if you want real financial freedom. We'll look at why salary income feels secure but creates dependency. Then, we'll break down the structural problem behind relying on one income source. And finally, we'll talk about how wealth builders redesign their income system entirely. Chapter 1: The Salary Contract. A salary is essentially a contract. You exchange your time, skills, and attention for predictable income. Companies like this model because it creates stability. They know how much they pay, they know how much work they receive. Everything becomes predictable. But there's a hidden condition inside this system. Your income exists only while you participate. No participation, no income. That means your entire financial life is directly tied to your presence. And that's the first structural limitation of salary income. Chapter 2: The Single Income Risk. Now imagine something simple. You build your entire financial life around one income stream: your job. Every bill, every plan, every financial decision, all supported by that single source. If that source disappears, everything shakes. And this is not a rare situation. Industries change, companies restructure, technology replaces roles, economic cycles happen. When your entire system depends on one income source, your stability is fragile, not because you failed, but because the structure itself has limits. Chapter 3: Why Salary Feels Safe. The reason many people rely completely on salary income is because it feels stable. Money arrives every month, bills get paid, life moves forward, and slowly your entire lifestyle adapts to that structure. Your expenses grow, your commitments expand, your financial obligations increase. So leaving the system begins to feel risky, even when you realize the dependency. And that's how many careers evolve: higher income, more responsibility, but the same underlying financial structure. Chapter 4: The High Earner Illusion. Many people believe the solution is simply to earn more. And at first, that works. Your salary increases, your lifestyle improves, your financial stress reduces. But something interesting happens. Even high earners often remain dependent on the same structure because the core system didn't change. One income source, one employer, one financial engine. If that engine stops, everything stops, which means the real limitation wasn't income, it was structure. Chapter 5: The Structural Difference. There are two fundamentally different types of income: participation income and leverage income. Salary is participation income. You work, you get paid. Stop working, and the income stops. Leverage income works differently. Assets produce value. Businesses generate cash flow. Investments grow over time. And those systems continue operating even when you are not actively working. That's where financial freedom begins. Not from working harder, but from changing how income is generated. Chapter 6: The System Wealth Builders Use. Wealth builders don't reject salary entirely. They use it differently. Salary becomes fuel, not the destination. Your job generates capital. That capital builds assets. And assets generate additional income streams. Over time, those income streams reduce dependency on the original salary. That's how financial structure evolves: income to assets, assets to cash flow to optionality. And optionality is what creates freedom. Now, some people might ask, okay, I understand the idea now, but where exactly should I start? And the honest answer is simpler than most people expect. Start by doing your homework. Learn, experiment, test the things you believe might work. Because the real shift doesn't happen when someone gives you a perfect map. It happens when you walk the path yourself. Here's the deeper point. If you're waiting for someone to tell you exactly what to do step by step, you're still operating inside a salary mindset. Because a salary mindset expects instructions. But financial freedom requires ownership. And ownership means taking responsibility for your decisions. Stop expecting someone to save you. I could show you a complete blueprint to financial freedom, and many people would still fail with it. Not because the blueprint is wrong, but because knowledge without experience is just information. You can read it, memorize it, even repeat it. But if you've never tested it yourself, it never becomes real understanding. That's why so many people copy strategies they see online. They try to imitate what someone else is doing without truly understanding why it works. Their knowledge is still at level 1, but they are trying to execute level 3 decisions. And when the situation changes, they don't know how to adapt because the thinking behind the strategy was never theirs. Real financial understanding is built the same way every skill is built. You learn, you try, you make mistakes, you adapt and refine. And over time, the knowledge becomes something deeper. It becomes yours. That's when the system begins to make sense. Not because someone told you the answers, but because you walked through the process yourself. Final truth: the money mirror. There's nothing wrong with having a job. Careers can be powerful. They build skills, they generate income, they create opportunities. But if salary remains your only income source, your financial future will always depend on something you do not fully control. Freedom requires something different: ownership, assets, systems that continue producing value beyond your direct participation. And the mirror never lies. The question is, are you building a bigger salary or building a system that eventually replaces the need for one?